Running. I have to put my headphones on. Of course. Hello everyone and welcome here on the All Geared Up channel. And I am excited today because I have two great microphones here today. And yeah, the thing is, I want to get myself a better microphone and I want to upgrade a little bit. So I am comparing microphones and I thought you want to check them out as well and see how they are different. And today we are going to compare two microphones that are pretty much similar in terms of price. We have on one side Contender 1, which is the AKG. I always have to look on the model number C214 versus the SHURE Beta 27. They are both large diaphragm condenser microphones. They are both in the same price range. The AKG usually sells from $300 to $400 US, depends on if you can find a good deal. And the SHURE pretty much is around the same, more towards the 400. I would say you rarely can find a deal more towards 300, so usually recommended sales price is $399. So let's go for same price range, and they are similar in many ways. So they both have, let's go a little bit over the specs. So let's first check out what is in the box. So the AKG comes in a nice case. It has the shock mount included. It has a foam pop filter, which I haven't put on, so I could put the same pop filter on both microphones, so they sound similar. And the SHURE comes with basically just the microphone and a bracket to mount to the stand, so no shock mount. The original SHURE shock mount sells for around $50, and the foam windscreen, which you also need to buy extra, goes for I think $10 or something. So if you factor this in, this one is a little bit more expensive. And in many ways, as I said, they are similar, and in some they are quite different. Let's go over the specs of the microphone. So cardioid microphone, Supercardioid microphone. This one has a little bit of a narrower pickup pattern. This one is a little bit sensitive on the backside. So if you talk right into the back, it actually will pick up if you're quite close to it. And I will put the spec sheets on here, how sensitive it is on the back and stuff like this. So in terms of frequency, they both capture from 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz. And the frequency response is pretty similar. The only difference is, so in the bass and mid-range, they are both pretty linear and straight. This one is even a little bit more linear and has a little bit of a dip. Let me check. It's around 5K. It has a tiny bit of a dip and around 10K. And then it tapers off. Whereas this one has also a little bit of a dip in the 3K range and in the 13K range. So this one is a little bit more pitched. Also the dip goes a little bit higher, the EQ goes a little bit higher in the high ends, and then also it tapers off towards the 20 kilohertz. And that is the biggest differentiator in terms of sound. This one is a little bit more crisp in the high ends, whereas this one is super smooth in both the low ends and also in the high ends. So let's go over the switches that they both have. The AKG comes with two switches. One of them on this side is the attenuation switch, and you can attenuate the microphone for 20 dB, and this one has an attenuation switch for 15 dB. So the AKG can, with the pad switch and gauge, take louder sources, and I have this one on loan from a friend who owns a studio, and he uses it under a snare drum, and for really loud sources it can go super well. Whereas this one it can take also quite loud, but it stands out. The 156 decibels stands out, and it's quite unique. So the Supercardioid also goes well with louder sources, instruments, and all that. For voice, it wouldn't really matter, because even if we scream, we cannot get that loud. The other switch both have is a bass roll-off. The bass roll-off for the AKG is a slowly tapering off bass roll-off, going from 160 Hertz, whereas the SHURE has a 2-switch, so it can, let me check. So yeah, the SHURE Beta has a 2-step roll-off, and it rolls off by 6 dB from 115 or 18 dB from 80 Hertz downwards, obviously, not upwards. So 80 Hertz and 115 Hertz, and this one only has 160 Hertz. So in terms of features, they are pretty much the same. Slightly different, so this one has the 2-step bass roll-off, the other one comes with the shock mount, but overall they are pretty similar. The sound quality is a little bit different, and this will be the deciding factor whether you might want to decide for the AKG or the SHURE microphone. And definitely you will want to use them close when you record voiceovers, and we will check for proximity effect and how they sound close. So let's get closer to this microphone, and let's hear for the AKG for the moment, and let's talk a little bit about the self noise. The self noise of this microphone, the C214, is 13 dBA. And now let's listen to the SHURE Beta 27, and its noise level is 8.5 dB, and dBA and dB is a little bit of a different measurement, so they're pretty similar in terms of how the self noise is. This one is a little bit lower still, but let's compare how they sound. And switching back, you will hear this one might be a little bit hotter and more present. So we've talked about this earlier with the dip in the high end, so this has a little bit punchier and crisper high end, whereas the SHURE Beta is super smooth, but still it gives you a lot of headroom to boost this with EQs or with a compressor and everything, and the bass that comes out is also, I think, super smooth, and I really like it. So I myself have not decided whether I want to go with the AKG or the SHURE Beta, but for you I still hope it helps to have a comparison for what a $400 microphone can sound like and how they can be different. And they can sound quite, not drastically different, so they're both super great microphones, but it proves how your voice might like, or how the microphone, or whatever you might decide how the relationship is, voice microphone, microphone voice. One sounds one way, one sounds the other way, so they definitely sound different, and I really hope this comes across. Listen to the audio on headphones so you can really hear the differences in the high end and whether one is more crisp and the other is more smooth. I really recommend listening on headphones, not on your home stereo and not on monitors. I really hope that helps. I will have to bring this one back. I probably have to bring this one back, but I'm still deciding to get a nice microphone for my voiceover. And yeah, really hope it helps. And also, if you haven't checked out, I compared the AKG already to a cheaper microphone for around 100 bucks. If you want to check this out, I'm going to put a link for this as well, so you can see how a 400 microphone compares to a $100 microphone. And yeah, so again, hope it helps. If you liked the video, leave a like, and I see you in the next video. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.